Good morning, guys. Let me just get the links out and then can go straight into it. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Good morning and welcome. Let's see what we can get this morning. Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting too much price action. So yesterday, where we left off, was just kind of as prices were holding on to this point. Sorry, 2 seconds. So yeah, prices were making that slight dip, right? Kind of pulled a little bit deeper. See how we came perfectly to this order block. Also, kind of that natural level of previous resistance turning into new support, setting that bottom, right? Prices then very nicely rebounded all the way back up to that previous top formed just prior to the um, interest rate decision. So, um, yeah, I mean, this could be the range that we're moving within. We get a little bit of data coming out today. It's not crazy, but we do get some data. Okay, so we could move either within this range, this top to this bottom, or we could. I mean, we're kind of compressing here, so it could be the case that we come attempt to make that push again, or actually break and make a move here. So we're not getting too much data coming out this morning or today in general. So I'm not seeing a crazy move happening. Now next week we do get core PCE prices. Let me just have a little look. So today it's majority European data. So we get Spanish GDP, French PMI, German PMI, UK PMI, EU PMI, and then we do get some US core durable good orders. So I mean it's not crazy data really. So yeah, I mean those are the scenarios. Okay, so we could. I mean we're compressing, so it could break towards this top here, and then just maybe come back down, or break and push towards that next target around 30 k. If not, then we could just break down, break and breach through this trend line. But that's the trend line that we're looking at. And as mentioned, we could very much just stick towards this, well, within this range for the rest of the week, for next week as well. So yeah, we'll see how things kind of map out. But I'm looking at potential push up here. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not. I don't see that break towards 30 this week. So yeah, I think another test of the top, and then see a little bit of sell side activity as the bulls kind of weaken as well. And then kind of either tweet around this and then make that break and come back towards the bottom of this range somewhere. Um, yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at to play out. Now, those that are just joining us, okay, welcome to the live stream. Feel free to touch base with us on anything, any TA that you want us to go over. More than happy to do so. But yeah, that's what we're kind of looking at the moment. As you can see, I mean, volume's completely tailed off. So I'm not expecting crazy moves this well today. Now the dollar index is setting up structure. It's found a little bit of a bottom. Um, yeah, I think again I don't see it doing crazy movement unless some of this data that comes out today is unexpected. Then maybe we'll get a little bit of volatility here. But partly maybe just sticking within that sort of range and that structure that it's already built up off. Um, I mean, it's at this previous structure, kind of at liquidity. It could be the case that that sets its bottom. And you just kind of hold it. So yeah, I mean, we'll just waiting for some structure to come in. So a decent rebound. That's not too bad. It's quite nice candle on the daily. So yeah, maybe on the lower time frame, just building up a little bit of structure and then pushing up, and then Bitcoin touching that top and then coming down as the dollar breaks up higher. Bitcoin dominance is still kind of coming off that top. But yeah, those that are joining us, welcome. Have a little look. Yeah, I mean, you can even see it on these equity markets. They're all over the place. That's the Nasdaq, S&P. This still looks weak. Holding that 200 as well. Yeah, so we're looking at a long here on Matic as well. Morning. Can you see an uptrend on gold? Morning, my man. Welcome. Let me have a little look. There's going to be a little bit more opportunity on the FX and commodities sort of side of things. I mean, that's your clear trend line that we're moving within. Now, as mentioned in the previous lives as well as updates, we're looking at potential continuation into this area here. But I mean, yeah, volume's kind of tailed off. Yeah, and looking at just building a little bit more structure. But I mean, you can see that structure there is nice structure, as you can see. I mean, see how we're building on positive structure. So hopefully, I mean, ideally, right, you want it to hold this current level. If it's, I mean, it's got a little bit more room. There's an order block here, just here, that will hold us support. So you don't want it to push beneath 1980. So what would you say, 1984? Yeah, I mean, you're not far off. I'd say you've got that 50 moving average. So I wouldn't want it to close or kind of really start to push beneath this 50. That's probably my last point of support. If it pushes beneath that, it's going to push a bit deeper. So yeah, ideally hold here, and then start to build back up, and then continue with that trend, right, and make that attempt to push higher. But it's looking good. Okay, and I just need it to continue holding that current price level. Again, as mentioned, we're looking at a potential push all the way to the top here, especially with everything that's happening with the banking sector. Yeah, I guess investors are going to look for more safe havens. Now, this is your key level of resistance. It's a very strong point of resistance. So, yeah, I think another attempt at testing that top, and actually seeing some volume. Got some nice volume here. I'm going for that extra test. We're not quite there. So yeah, ideally make that push. Does look good. I mean, I'm getting some very nice buy side on that daily, on this move compared to that previous kind of push down. Yeah, we just wanted to continue holding Got some nice structure so far. So yeah, I mean that 50 moving average is the last point really. But we'll start. We'll kind of if we get some nice price action, if we get a nice candle like rebounding off the bottom. So yeah, be nice. Thanks, man. It moves so damn fast, so I better get in right. Um, I'd be patient. I wouldn't be too impulsive on this one right now. Do bear in mind it's also Friday. Okay, so yeah, volume does tail off on a Friday. So I mean, I'm not expecting huge moves. Now we do get some data coming out. Okay, some European data as mentioned. It could move it a little bit, but again, it's Friday. It's the end of the week, the end of the official trading week. So I don't expect huge moves. And also, kind of just bear in mind, obviously, you're going to have to account for the crossing over from the end of the week to the new week, if that makes sense. So yeah, but decent structure so far. There's still a bit more room. You can probably get a better entry here anyway. Um, buy side really died off on these three candles here. I see. So you want a bit more of a reaction, and then get that buy side starting to pick up. That's where you want to start to look for that entry. At the moment, we're making a pullback. It's Friday. Things do turn around on a week at the end of the week. So, patience. You'll get a better entry by the looks of it. Let's have a little look. I was also looking at a short on oil, but seeing a little bit of a rebound. Okay, so we can get rid of this. It's already come tested. Got some nice sell side. See that sell side there? Da, da, da. So, I mean, we're at the 382. Got some previous structure there. See how we got structure. That 382 is nice. So we can be looking ideally somewhere in this area. And bam. That's what we're looking at. Some nice structure there to go off. So yeah, we're looking for that sell off on oil. That was a nice bit of combined sell side coming in. Nice move breaking through that trend line. Looks good. So we'll see. Okay, 4 minutes until we get some UK data, I'm pretty sure. Core retail sales comes out in just a second. Thank you for the follows and likes as well on the stream. Very much appreciated, guys. Just have a little look.
as a podcast on Apple or Spotify.
Yeah, Taruna, I do think it's fascinating to have his voice at such a critical juncture in terms of regulation. Right, let's think though about what is coming down the track for us today and this morning. Bloomberg's James Wilcock has got a look ahead to the agenda. Hi, James.
Hello, and it's UK retail sales at 7. And obviously, I mean, given we've been talking about the UK Politics podcast all morning, Carol, you had Andrea Belford on yesterday talking about all about the high street.
And she's got a new piece out this morning about whether John Lewis is up for sale or not. And she says, not so fast, but she's done some great analysis on the fact that actually the British high street is not dying. We spent about 10 years talking about that, and she says, no, hang on a minute. The retail space is actually really important. The problem for John Lewis is that they've let go of some of that.
And with CPI this Wednesday showing that it's still food and retail that are driving up costs, one thing to be really worried about that core inflation number, it will be interesting to see how much of these sales coming out are volume and how much are price. On top of that, you've got France PMIs at 8.15, Germans 8.30, Eurozone at 9, so big PMI morning, UK's coming in at 9.30, and the US at 1.45. And I just thought I'd highlight Catherine Mann, who I'm sure Lizzie knows very well, one of the hawkish members of the BOE committee, is speaking in Washington tonight at 4 p.m. London time on how do monetary policymakers deal with the spiller effects of food, energy, and
Right.
I think that it's interesting that she voted for 25 basis points yesterday rather than 50. It's the hawk is toning down her hawkishness.
Yeah, absolutely. But she's talking about Ukraine, and that in the background is still ongoing. The various offensives. I think we really
in favour of a holding on those Gibraltar 10-year response being more resistant.
Yeah, okay, really interesting.
Maybe she got in his ear.
Right. Okay, 1 minute out and get some data.
Okay, James, thank you so much for giving us a heads up on what is ahead. We'll give you those UK retail numbers when they break in just a minute's time, plus an update on where we
Let me
are.
have a little look. Okay, could get a little bit of volatility here on the. Okay. That's my movement. Might be worth getting in on a long here. I'm going to go long on pound yen.
Coming up today.
An inflated outlook. Bank of England says the UK will avoid a recession and raises rates yet again.
Back in the spotlight, Credit Suisse and UBS face US scrutiny over Russian sanctions.
It's time up for TikTok. The Chinese-owned social network CEO appears before Congress.
See how we're coming off this like kind of nice area of support. See if we can get a rebound, yeah.
Plus, Jack Dorsey's fortune on the chopping block. The tech founder sees $500 million wiped off his net worth. Hindenburg Research drops a new report.
That's all straight ahead on Bloomberg Daybreak Europe on DAB Digital Radio London, Bloomberg 1130 New York, Bloomberg 99.1 Washington DC, Bloomberg 1061 Boston, Bloomberg 960 San Francisco, Sirius XM Channel 119, and around the world on BloombergRadio.com and via the Bloomberg Business app.
So we can get a tighter stop.
I'm Lizzie Bowden. You're listening to Daybreak Europe live on London DAB Radio.
So let's look at these markets then. Stock futures for Europe are down 0.6%. Much more caution around European equities from Citi and from Bank of America. In terms of US futures, they're slightly in the green. The Nasdaq, amazingly yesterday, was closing in on a bull market. You have had, though, 11 days of outside Treasury volatility. In terms of bond markets now, on the 2-year we trade at 383, down by a basis point. Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index is up a 10. You've got the Japanese yen bid up 0.3, 130.47. Also, we have gold down, oil prices up a little, and a big hit to commodities in the form of iron ore, both for markets.
We're also seeing in the latest UK retail sales data for February, they were up 1.2% month on month, including auto fuel, and the survey had been for 0.2%. The previous month was
What's going on?
0.5% growth, so really a big beat there. We'll be analysing that later in the programme.
Absolutely. Let's go to our top stories. So the Bank of England has pushed interest rates higher, taking rates to their highest level since 2008. The central bank raised its benchmark lending rate by a quarter point to
Alright, let's see if we can get a rebound.
Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey says the bank still expects price rises to slow this year.
We've seen signs of inflation really peaking now, but of course it's far too high. Now, we think it's going to come down sharply, really from the early summer onwards, but we haven't seen that happen yet. We had some news this week which was unfortunately going a bit the other way. We think there's probably some one-off elements of that, but we need to see it starting to come down progressively and get back to target.
Bailey also says that the UK economy has been more resilient than the bank had expected. The Bank of England now sees GDP rising slightly in the second quarter, a sharp upgrade from the 0.4% decline that it had projected just last month.
Staying in the UK, the government has condemned power traders who are turning off their generators to make money. Bloomberg's exclusive investigation shows how brokers gamed the UK energy system to gain more than £500 million in excess charges. In a response, Rishi Sunak's spokesman called the practice unacceptable. But reporter Todd Gillespie says the trading is technically legal.
I mean, the simple answer that we got from all of these companies is that they aren't breaking the rules, and it's true. The regulator hasn't found any conclusive evidence of rule breaking, but what you will find now is that the regulator, for the first time in our story, called this practice manipulation. They are coming out now and trying to change the rules to make it explicitly not allowed.
The reporter Todd mentioned Ofgem is now urgently
Okay.
the practice.
Now, more banking woes. Sources tell Bloomberg that Credit Suisse and UBS are among the banks under scrutiny by the Justice Department's probe. The story now from Bloomberg's Charlie Pellet.
Those sources say investigators are looking into whether financial professionals helped Russian oligarchs evade sanctions. The sources say the Swiss banks were included in a recent wave of subpoenas sent out by the government. The information requests were sent before the crisis that engulfed Credit Suisse and resulted in UBS's proposed takeover of its rival. According to one of the sources, the Justice Department inquiries are focused on identifying which bank employees dealt with
Okay, so core retail sales has come out. Has actually gone up.
several years.
On a month-on-month basis. Core retail sales on a year-on-year basis has decreased by a lesser amount than previous.
Deposits are safe. Certainly, we would be prepared to take additional actions if
Yeah, looking good. There's a bit more strength to retail sales.
Treasury officials were not considering the possibility of temporarily insuring all US bank deposits without.
So come on then, let's see some strength here.
Governor Dan Tarullo says that US regulators need to be clearer in their position on supporting uninsured depositors. Speaking in a Bloomberg roundtable, Tarullo said that Yellen and Powell
Coming off this nice level of support, so could be the case we make a little bit of a make another move down. Still got a little bit more room, so we just need to keep an eye on things.
Insure the deposits in open banks. What I think they have done is effectively to say the following. We do have the authority, along with the FDIC, to insure previously uninsured deposits in failed banks. And so what
We're coming up to
they're telling you is
the area on oil.
we will insure the uninsured deposits.
See if we can get an entry on that 0.5 fib. Still got more room. This is still looking nice.
He said that even if Silicon Valley Bank had been tested at the time, it wouldn't have been seen as risky.
The appearance of TikTok's CEO before US lawmakers appears to have done little to quell the political fury directed at his firm. Defending his company against a barrage of criticism, Xu Chu sought to underline the app's independence from its Chinese owners.
The potential security, privacy, content manipulation concerns raised about TikTok are really not unique to us. The same issues apply to other companies. We believe what's needed are clear, transparent rules that
ownership is not at the core of addressing these concerns.
While Chu was answering questions, the UK Parliament banned TikTok on local networks and staff devices. US lawmakers and the Biden administration are exploring how to force ByteDance, the parent company, to sell its share of TikTok or ban the app altogether.
And payment company Block says that it will explore legal action against the short seller Hindenburg Research over its report accusing the business of enabling fraudsters. Hindenburg's investigation alleges scammers were using Block's Cash app to take advantage of the US government's pandemic stimulus programs. Shares in Block fell on that news, closing down 15%. As a result, the co-founder, Jack Dorsey, says that his fortune plunged, with $526 million wiped off his net worth. According to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, he's now worth $4.4 billion. Those are a few of our top stories, though, just ending with Hindenburg Research. There's interesting analysis actually on Bloomberg Terminal about how much the share price of the companies targeted by Hindenburg Research have fallen, and a lot of them have fallen a great deal without then recovering. So the impact is there. So that's why I think the story is of interest, even though, of course, now there's this idea that there'll be legal action taken by Jack Dorsey's firm.
And of course, Block's not the first to be the target of Hindenburg. We also had a dialogue earlier in the show. Just while I'm having a little dig into those ONS figures on retail sales, it's
Right.
outlook.
Do-do-do.
Outlook here in the UK. It's a big beat on the
I mean, Bitcoin's loading up. Majority of yesterday really didn't do much. No, we did get that break. Again, yesterday we kind of spoke through what was happening with Matic. No, not Matic, sorry. That's what I'm on. Mask. As you can see, nice blow up. Now, this is where it was yesterday. Okay, again, we put it out on the stream. So again, those that got involved, amazing, well done. You cashed in a very nice move. A little bit of explanation as to why. Again, as mentioned in yesterday's stream, that key area, previous resistance, turning into new support here. See how we're staggering. Nice structure. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm picking up in volume just here. Bam. But yeah, amazing trade. Well done. We pulled out a little bit earlier. Okay. We got out, I'm pretty sure it was somewhere up here on this move up. And I mean, look at it. It just absolutely blew up. So yeah, some of our members cashed in on some very nice profit yesterday. This has just been on an absolute rampage. But yeah, those that are just joining us, feel free to message us in the chat any TA that you want us to go over. More than happy to do so. As mentioned yesterday as well, we'll get a full update on the markets out for you this evening. Just remember, it's not going to be on TradingView, okay? But yeah, we will leave you with an update ahead of or before the weekend, so at least you kind of can gauge as to what to expect going into the weekends as well as before the new week.
Bill Winters coming out saying that the worst of the banking crisis is over, and then Andrew Bailey also hinted at the kind of confidence that the UK has in terms of the state of the banking sector here. Is the UK any stronger, do we think, than the Eurozone or the US? What's our take on it?
Well, I think one thing that's important to recognise is that there's
Okay, we're coming up to that area again. Ideally that's 0.5, but just remember do have that 618 as well. So set that stop loss just above. that structure. But I mean, no, the buy side's weak, very weak.
So I think it's probably safe. It looks like they're all very well capitalized relative to how they were during 2008, for example. But you can never guarantee with certainty that there's not going to be a run.
I thought it was interesting that they didn't even mention financial conditions in the Bank of England minutes. But there was this in the interview later in the afternoon and in the video with Andrew Bailey, very clear to say this is not 2008, but really separating the financial stability message from the monetary policy message. Just quickly, a thought on the eurozone, Jamie. Where do they go next for the ECB?
So I think they're probably going to keep hiking because they're kind of very focused on core inflation, and as far as we can tell, that's not going to fall at all until we get to the very end of the summer. So they're going to always have an excuse to lift interest rates, and I think that's what they're going to do. So another 25 for the next few months, next few meetings.
Okay, Jamie, thank you so much for your time this morning. That is Bloomberg's chief US economist, Jamie Rush.
Up next, capital pushback, one letter in DUP, and the missing 99%. We'll get the papers with James Wolcott.
Now, the paper review on Bloomberg Daybreak Europe. The news you need to know from today's papers.
So the Telegraph has more on the story around Rishi Sunak's tax returns. Bloomberg's James Wilcock is here to explain. I mean, it was also revealed the tax return for the Labour Party leader as well.
Yes, Caroline, although it's not quite the size of Sunak's
Sure.
returns, I will caveat. They were both
Delicately
out.
put, James.
Well, it's this question, is he now, of like, where does the money for the UK state come from in this period of economic hardship? I mean, Charlie Bean, a former BOE member and one of Britain's sort of most well-known economists, said yesterday that real incomes in the UK will need to fall 5% to adjust for the shock we're in. So the question is now, is where does that hit happen and who hurts the most? And on this tax returns sort of come into the picture of, with Britain's facing the highest income tax burden in 70 years, should more be done on capital gains, which currently brings in about 18 billion to the sort of UK tax take a year. And so the Telegraph have written this piece saying, well, actually, more people than ever before are saving. 300,000 people are currently making capital gains, and can harm the future of the economy if you up the tax on capital now.
I cannot believe that a government that has just withdrawn the limit on the lifetime pension savings, i.e. sort of helping those savers, especially those very wealthy savers, would actually consider increasing capital gains tax, in future. But that's the Conservatives, surely.
Well, and then to give you Labour side, but there is
I'm gonna get some margin in on oil here.
And this kind of line that Sunak is incredibly wealthy, who pays a lot of tax, is a repeat attack line of theirs. The other thing to point out, Caroline, is in this era of high inflation, people often their salary raises put them into higher tax brackets. So that high tax burden is going to get even worse as salaries go up.
And you've got some inflation.
Yeah, so I've put some margin in here.
Implying that Rishi Sunak was so rich he didn't
Seen a little bit of
Yes, and most
hold on resistance. Okay, now if things decide to push up a little bit higher towards this is my next level to add a little bit more margin in there.
DUP secretly warning against this Northern Ireland trade deal demand.
Well, for one point, Caroline, this whole thing is wrapping up. Brexit, that is. I'm calling it. Brexit's done, apparently. But
Yeah, this looks like we're coming down.
EU Commission's Vice President Maroš Šefčovič, after today, going to sign in the Windsor deal, which was voted in decisively earlier this
For
week.
trade over Northern Ireland.
Yes, but there are still unresolved tensions. The DUP are still holding out on saying they back this deal, which means no power sharing instalment because Brexit was a key demand. And they are calling for dual regulation, the idea that both UK and EU law applies. That's a key condition.
But do they have any leverage? There's no possibility that that's going to happen, is there?
Well, there's a desire to restore power sharing in Northern Ireland, but for the UK government, they are quite clear. Chris Heaton Harris yesterday said, this is done. This is over. We're moving on. Stop trying to make Northern Ireland happen. Sort of to use Mean Girls, paraphrase it. It's not going to happen. But what is fascinating is the FT have unearthed this letter from Sam Wilson, who's one of the big DUP MPs critical of the deal, saying the very key condition they're calling for now, 6 months ago, he said it wouldn't work and wasn't desirable, which shows some of the difficulty in unravelling this standoff.
And just a word on the Times story, they're looking into COVID loans.
Yes, so it is that only 1% of these loans that the National Audit Office say are fraudulent have even been recovered. Now that is even more fascinating because to apply for one of those loans, they have to have the details of who it is and where they live. So they have the business rates expert quoted in the Times says it's very capable of doing it. It just clearly hasn't got the resource and mandate to do so. And what is really fascinating, that one word's getting a bit longer, Lizzie, but I'll keep it quick, is that National Audit Office themselves say it is very hard to demonstrate value for money for these grants if we can't recover them. So it's hard to show the government was doing the right thing because you can't show that it actually did deliver.
Look, everybody warned of this issue, that there was going to be fraud associated with such a huge amount of money being handed out during the pandemic at such speed. But that was known, but it's the fact that it's not being pursued now that I think is pretty fascinating. You know, they know which of the banks and apps handed out the most of these COVID loans, etc.
Looking okay, looking okay.
Inevitable, given the speed, or would we have been talking about businesses' insolvencies?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much, James Walcott, for a really interesting roundup of this morning's newspaper. We've got lots more, though, ahead on the programme. We're going to talk TikTok, that CEO testimony yesterday, the absolute grilling that he received over in the US. Bloomberg Quick Takes Alex Webb will be with us. This is Bloomberg.
Bloomberg Radio, on demand and in your podcast feed.
On the latest edition of the Bloomberg Business Week podcast, a conversation with Dr. Chris Marsh, associate professor at the University of Maryland, on her book, The Love Jones Cohort, Single and Living Alone in the Black Middle Class.
A lot of times, especially like in Black America, you have professional Black women, and people often ask the professional Black woman, why aren't you married? Why don't you have any children? And so if we're not careful, it becomes a very individual conversation. And so people in the cohort will feel like something's wrong with me. I'm not married. I don't have any children. Woe is me. Something's wrong with me. And so I'm trying to move it away from an individual.
It's in the bit of a pullback here, so
Way more structural
let's see.
to suggest that structural forces constrain our personal choices. Put differently, racism constrains our dating pool. So if I, Chris Marsh, with a PhD, want to marry a heterosexual Black man with another PhD, my dating pool is constrained. If I want to marry a Black man with a PhD who owns a home, I'm constrained. PhD with a home and has estate planning, I'm constrained. So it's a structural argument that we need to think about.
Come on.
Can't fix people at the individual level, and that's what this book really tries to do.
Chris, what's the difference between single black individuals and single white individuals? Because I would argue that there's a fair amount of white individuals who feel the same thing, that go to a family reunion and they're like, wait, you're not married? What's wrong with you? Or
Yeah, this is going to come a little bit deeper into here. This is looking good. We're looking good. We're looking good this morning. Just need this to break. Need some volume to come in.
Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. Plus, listen anytime on the Bloomberg Business app and Bloomberg.com.
Those that are just joining us, welcome. Feel free to touch base with us in the chat. Any TA or any questions that you may have, just type it in. We are more than happy to answer it for you. We're in on a short on oil currently. We've added some margin. We're saving some margin to add potentially at that 618. Looking for a nice rebound here on pound yen. So again, we'll keep an eye on things. Ideally, we don't want it to really push beneath that point there. We want it to hold and rebound. At the moment, we're holding on to a level, so it's not too bad. Matic long, okay, currently up a little bit. Waiting for this to really start to push. Now, in terms of your dollar index, we're just expecting some structure to be built up, as you can see. I do think, probably pull back and then maybe push back up. So, yeah, we do need Bitcoin to start moving. But, I'm not seeing a great deal of sell side. So, I'm thinking up here, rebound off somewhere around here, push up, and then come down. So, we'll see how things going to play out.
Markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day.
At Bloomberg.com, on Bloomberg Television, and the Bloomberg Business app.
This is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
Now, 7:21 a.m. here in the City of London. I'm Caroline Hetker. We check the markets all day long here on Bloomberg Radio. Stock futures for A lot less optimism around
This
how
still
the
does look
European
good.
equities will end the year. City
As
now
long as we
tracking
hold,
600
it's
points
going to be a nice breakout.
445 points. That would be barely different to where we are right now. So a lot of
Um,
optimism at the start of the year.
what did I want to touch on? I've already got, I mean, yeah, that's your structure, your wider structure on Bitcoin. Potential range being built here. That's your trend line. Got price compression currently, so it could break up, could break down, but there's going to be a move. Now, I just think there's not really been sell side to really instigate a break, so yeah, looking for a push up here. Sell side comes in, and then we make that break of that trend line coming back down towards the bottom of this range. But I guess we'll see what happens.
Also in the FX space, Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index is stronger, a tenth of 1%. That's the first day that we've seen the greenback stronger in about 7 sessions. Japanese yen up 3/10 at 130.
Push up. Let's get it.
Business Flash, Lizzie.
Yeah, I want to come back to the TikTok story because the TikTok CEO Shou Chu had this painful grilling on Capitol Hill yesterday. US lawmakers seeking to ban the Chinese-owned app as a security risk. He was insisting that he's seen no evidence that China has access to user data. He also said that security and privacy concerns were not limited to TikTok. Take a listen to this exchange between the social network CEO and Congressman Bill Johnson.
TikTok source code is riddled with backdoors and CCP censorship devices. Here's the truth. In a million lines of code, the smallest shift from a 0 to a 1 on just one of thousands of versions of TikTok on the market will unlock explicit CCP censorship and access to American data. Mr. Chu, as CEO of TikTok, why have you not directed your engineers to change this source code?
Congressman, thank you for the question.
Have you directed them to change the source code?
Like what we are offering and
Yes
my
or
fourth
no?
commitment.
Have you directed them to change that source code?
Congressman, if you give me a bit of time to just
No, I don't. It's a yes or no question. Have you directed your engineers to change that source code?
I'm not sure I understand.
Why are you allowing TikTok to continue to have the capacity for censorship, and yet you claim here that you don't? Let me remind you of something. Do you realize that making false and misleading statements to Congress is a federal crime?
Absolute grilling.
So have you directed your engineers to change that source code?
I'm giving third-party access monitoring by experts, and Congressman, you are an expert on this. You could agree with me that no other company
TikTok
does
source
this.
code is the same as Dover? What percentage?
I can get back to you on the specifics.
Okay, I'd appreciate that. Where was the source code for TikTok developed? Was it developed in China or in the United States?
It's a global collaborative effort. Like a lot of code from a lot of companies.
Was it developed in China? Some of it?
Some of it, yes.
Okay, at ByteDance. When it's compiled,
That's a bad day at the office.
code being manipulated. We've talked a lot about source code. What about the byte code, the ones and zeros that actually execute on the device?
To give you comfort,
Yes.
Congressman, to give you comfort, that's why we're giving third-party monitors. As an expert, I think you can agree that very few companies
I've got
do
the
this.
report here by Citizen Lab. I want to read something from Ron Deaver. Specifically,
I'd hate to be him.
testimony to Congress, you stated on page 9.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're going for. Seeing a little bit of a push.
To the Chinese government and that TikTok did not contact any servers within China. You implied that Citizen Lab exonerated TikTok from any information sharing with China. Well, the director of Citizen Lab saw this and issued a statement correcting the record yesterday. And I'm quoting Ron Deaver, the director of the lab. I am disappointed that TikTok executives continue citing the Citizen Lab's research in their statements to government as somehow exculpatory.
Caroline, that reminded me of trying to have an argument with our producer Chris Pitt. He couldn't get a word in edgeways.
That's quite some comparison. Let's bring in Bloomberg Quick Takes Alex Webb on that front. Look, joking aside, this is a hugely important conversation, right? Did TikTok's CEO actually come out better or worse from this? I mean, it was a long and difficult session.
Yeah, it was clear. I mean, he wasn't exactly set up for success, was he? I think a lot of these
Another one was Zill that I had my eyes on. Did look relatively good. We can move that now. This was last night, so I mean, it's probably been a bit of development, but
He is ultimately working for a parent company that is domiciled in China, that is a Chinese company. There was a very tricky moment where a lawmaker asked his views on the persecution of Uyghurs, and he, whatever his personal views might be on that, he was trying very hard not to answer that question. You could probably guess why, given the nature of that Chinese audience as well. So I don't think he came out of it better, but it was very hard to see how he might have done.
Yeah, and perhaps more than anyone, who he was keeping an eye on was the Chinese government. So what's been their response?
no, it does look a little bit weak now today.
Reporting that the Biden administration
Can get pushed down.
sell the company or pull out of the US, and the Chinese government has said we will block any effort to sell the company. So
Yeah, I guess we'll see how things gonna play out. Yeah.
Facebook's revenue per user in North America is north of $200 a year. Even in Europe, it's only in the $60 a year range. So the US is the most lucrative market for social media companies. It's not one that you're going to be hugely willing to sacrifice. And China has had huge efforts over the years to get a global tech company success story. It has one, and the other efforts, Huawei, not least, has been cracked down on by the US government. That also points to perhaps some other motivations here from the US.
Yeah, my other question though is, I mean, I can understand that there's the geopolitics of this story, but I do think the one point Cho made, which was interesting, was that other social media companies in the landscape also raise kind of similarly problematic
Of course they do.
issues around, the type of fare that they serve up to young audiences, all that sort of stuff, and that maybe there is more regulation needed.
I bet it's the same argument, actually, that the US companies will trot out themselves. You'll have Facebook or Meta saying that they want regulation because it sort of outsources the problem for them. It says, well, no, we're just following the rules, right? If the rules are there, then they can follow them. They can also tell their shareholders, well, actually, we have to employ, for instance, I don't know, 100,000 content moderators. That's something we have to do. Their shareholders can't punish them or can't hold management responsible for that. At the same time, Facebook, Meta will say, would you rather we do it, or would you rather a Chinese company does it? So, they're sort of having their cake and eating it on that side. The ultimate thing is that there are laws in China that stipulate that if you're a Chinese company, you have to help the Chinese government if it seeks that help. While they might say till they're blue in the face there is no evidence that China has used backdoors or they have source data, it's always the potential that they might. And it becomes very hard on that basis to prove a negative. You can't say they will never do this because maybe they might. And that ultimately means that lawmakers are always going to have concerns.
All right, Alex Webb of Bloomberg Quick Take, thanks for being with us in the studio. Interesting that conversation is happening around the world. The UK government also banning TikTok on government devices. Thanks for being with us. Alex, we'll get a check of the markets for you next.
This is Bloomberg Daybreak Europe.
We have had one of the worst handles.
Twizzy, hello, how you doing? Welcome. Feel free to chat to us in the chat area. Ask us anything that you wish. Any TA that you want us to go over, feel free to touch base with us. At the moment, we are in a long position here on Matic. And we've added some margin to a short on oil. So we're seeing whether we can get a nice turnaround here. We are also in a long here on pound yen. So we've got our fingers in a few different places. We left some margin, okay, to be added here, potentially at that 618 area. Okay, so we'll see. We've got a little bit of resistance here. It could be we get a bit of a push and a bit of stronger resistance here, and then actually make that move down. But yeah, we're not looking too bad. Just looking for that break up. High Almatic, that would be nice.
Absolutely. Let's go to our top stories. The Bank of England has pushed ahead with another hike, taking rates to their highest level since 2008. The central bank raised its benchmark lending rate by a quarter point to 4.25%. Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey says the bank still expects price rises to slow this year.
We've seen, as we've noted today, some signs that wage increases in the private sector are beginning to even off and come down. So that's obviously a good sign in terms of inflationary pressures in the economy. We've seen quite a sharp further reduction in energy prices since we last made our last decision. That's also encouraging. But we need to see this translated now into the big fall in inflation we expect. And of course, we know that that's what we need to see for all the people in this country whom inflation is hurting.
Bailey also says the UK economy has been more resilient than the bank had expected. The Bank of England now expects GDP to rise slightly in the second quarter, a sharp upgrade from the 0.4% decline it projected last month.
US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says regulators would be prepared to take further steps to protect the banking system.
The strong actions we've taken ensure that Americans' deposits are safe. Certainly, we would be prepared to take additional actions if warranted.
Bank stocks tumbled yesterday after Yellen said that Treasury officials were not considering the possibility of temporarily insuring all US bank deposits without congressional approval.
But the Fed's stress tests are coming under attack from ex-policymakers for failing to factor in the jump in interest rates. Speaking in a Bloomberg roundtable, the former US Central Bank Governor Dan Tarullo says that even if Silicon Valley Bank had been tested, it wouldn't have been seen as risky.
But I think in the most immediate sense, this is clearly a supervisory failure. Other factors may be uncovered as the Fed's own investigation proceeds.
Dan Tarullo there, who oversaw financial regulation and supervision at the Fed, he says that US regulators do need to be clearer now in their position on supporting uninsured depositors.
The appearance of TikTok's CEO before US lawmakers appears to have done little to quell the political fury directed at his firm. Defending his company against a barrage of criticism, Shou-Chu sought to underline the app's independence from its Chinese owners.
I have seen no evidence that the Chinese government has access to that data. They have never asked us, we have not provided. And in order to assure everybody here and all our users, our commitment is to move the data into the United States to be stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel.
While Chu was answering questions, the UK Parliament banned TikTok on local networks and staff devices. US lawmakers and the Biden administration are exploring how to force ByteDance, the parent company, to sell its share of TikTok or ban the app altogether.
And now payment company Block says that it will explore legal action against the short seller Hindenburg Research over its report accusing the business of enabling fraudsters. Hindenburg's investigation alleges scammers were using Block's Cash App to take advantage of the US government's pandemic stimulus programs. Shares in Block fell on the news, closing down 15%. As a result, the co-founder Jack Dorsey saw his fortune plunge, with $526 million wiped off his net worth. According to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, he's now worth $4.4 billion.
Okay, there are our top stories. I want to bring us one of our top interviews now. Standard Chartered CEO has said that the worst of the banking crisis is in the rearview mirror. Bill Winters spoke with Bloomberg's David Ingalls in Hong Kong about the past 2 weeks of banking turmoil, inflation, rates and more. He says that when it came to maintaining stability, the Fed got the big calls right.
I hope we're through the worst. And I think there's still some questions around business models around the world. Have there been weaknesses that have been exposed in the business models of any of the companies that have had trouble?
There's one part is liquidity, right? And the other part is confidence.
Yeah.
Really, that's really how you stitch together what happened in the U.S. to what took place in Switzerland, of course. Have you heard enough from regulators to be able to address? Do you think they've done enough to sort of bolster confidence at this point in time?
I think regulators have taken extraordinary steps, first in the U.S. and then obviously subsequently in Switzerland, to make sure that the banking system stayed safe while individual banks had their troubles. Obviously, we'll all be reflecting on what could we have done to prevent this, because you never want to get to the point where you have to take the actions that the Fed and the FDIC took in the U.S. or that the regulators in Switzerland
Pa,
took.
pa, da, pa, pa.
But once there, there were relatively few choices, and I think they pulled out the big guns, and they common markets, and that's at that particular point, that's the critical thing, and I think they succeeded.
One of the sort of side effects we've seen is this sort of almost transfer of
Yeah, let's see what we can get. It's not much movement. Da, 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 da. Ah. Mhm. Right, I'm gonna get out of this trade. It's just not working for us, so it's gonna come down a bit lower and got a little bit more support further down. So yeah, this is decent area of support, as you can see here. So let's see what we can get.
Is fighting two different fights that may be conflicting with financial condition management on the one hand and inflation on the other. Sustained higher inflation is not good
Potential.
for any of us. We want inflation back under control. I think the Fed has a particular challenge in that managing two reasonably pressing challenges that are coming at them. I think they're striking the right balance, but there will be implications. The implication will be on the assumption that this economic turmoil doesn't filter through to the real economy, and that's a big question. Are we going to be? Is there going to be a real economy impact in the U.S. or in Switzerland or elsewhere?
Still weak buy side here. See, it's a strong candle, but very weak volume coming in on it.
Short order it would appear to be no. Longer term, it could be if the market is deprived of some lending capital.
So we'll see how things kind of play out. I'm just looking for a potential breakup higher here on Bitcoin. So should see a bit of a stronger move on the alts. Does look good.
Of social media and bank runs by Twitter or whatever the phrases are that get used, we have to reflect on whether we've all really accomplished everything that we know we must accomplish. I feel very confident that Standard Chartered has done the right thing and is in the right place. I think most banks are. There may be some that need to adjust their business models, and I'm sure those are in the process of being adjusted. And the regulators and central banks have given the market time to adjust those business models by taking some pretty extraordinary steps. With deposit guarantees and extraordinary liquidity facilities and things like that.
That was the Standard Chartered CEO Bill Winters speaking to Bloomberg's David Ingles, whose name I butchered earlier. My fellow Filipino, I apologise. We'll get a business flash for you next.
Markets, headlines and breaking news 24 hours a day. At Bloomberg.com, on Bloomberg Television and the Bloomberg Business app. This is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
Now it's 7:41 a.m. here in the City of London. Time to check the markets as we do throughout the trading day here on Bloomberg Radio. So looking ahead to the European market open, US Stoxx 50 futures are down by 0.4%. We're paring back some of the decline. FTSE 100 futures also dropping 0.4%. The outlook, though, from strategists around the European equity markets is looking less and less positive. Citi joining Bank of America, becoming more cautious. Citi says that the US Stoxx 600 could well end the year at 445 25 points, i.e. around
Doesn't look
the
too
same
bad.
level that we are at now. We also do have some data out later this morning, Spanish GDP, PPI inflation for Europe to watch out for after the extraordinary moves in terms of central bank decisions this week. Financial stocks also will be on the lookout for those once European markets open, because the KBW US index yesterday sank to the lowest level since November 2020. You had even the big names drag lower, JP Morgan and Bank of America, and it's also highly unusual for there to be such divergence between the banks index and what's happening on the broader
Alright, let's take a long here on Bitcoin as well, may as well.
provides you in unusual territory. You have 11 days of outsized treasury moves. Traders now expect the Fed to slash interest rates later this year. US yields on the 10-year trading down 4 basis points at 338. 2-year yields trading this morning 3.8% down by 3 basis points. In other markets that we're watching for you, the MSCI Asia Pacific Index is down 0.1%. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index is slightly stronger. The Japanese yen's also been bid this one. It's up 0.4 now at 130.31. But we do keep an eye on oil prices, which are gaining ground this morning. Iron ore, though, is the big decliner in terms of the commodities worries around the global economy and the Chinese market. So that week on week looks like it's close to a 10% decline for iron ore futures. That is your Bloomberg Radio Business Flash. Let's get over to James Wilcock, who has our global news briefing. Hi, James.
Good morning, Caroline. Accenture is joining the growing list of companies in the consulting sector that are laying off workers. The firm says it will cut 19,000 jobs over the next 18 months. That's about 2.5% of its workforce. Over half of the job cuts at Accenture will affect people in non-billable corporate functions. And North Korea says Kim Jong-un has overseen tests of weapons designed to deliver nuclear strikes against both the US and its allies. According to state media, the arsenal includes an underwater drone that could create what it called a radioactive tsunami. North Korea has also warned the US of an unprecedented response and plans for its biggest ever live fire drills with South Korea, scheduled for June. And finally, Terraform Labs co-founder Do Kwon has been arrested in Montenegro. The former crypto entrepreneur is now being charged by the US for deceiving investors in being part of starting a $40 billion rout. Terraform's implosion shook the crypto world and played a role in the failure of both FTX and Alameda Research. Global News 24 hours a day, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in over 120 countries. I'm James Wilcock, and this is Bloomberg. Caroline, have you followed the Do Kwon story?
Only because the crypto story's turned quite interesting again, and we've seen Bitcoin rallying, and now this idea that actually cryptocurrencies could be a safe haven because of the banking crisis, which I think is a hard sell given what's happened in that industry in the last 18 months.
Well, it's almost a fascinating reminder because this time last year, Terraform's combined currencies of Terra USD and Luna were worth almost $60 billion, and now Do Kwon is a known fugitive charged with fraud. It is quite astonishing how fast that market has upended.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for our global news briefing, James Wilcock there. Now let's go to the markets then, and on that point around the banking crisis. Is Europe better positioned? Jeffrey Yu, the Bank of New York Mellon's senior strategist for EMEA markets, joins us this morning. Good morning. Hi, Jeffrey.
Morning.
Thanks so much for your time. I want to start with that idea. I mean, the Bank of England's Andrew Bailey talked about the UK, the solidity of the banks here in Britain. Are we over the banking crisis in Europe, or is there more to come? Are there more concerns?
Well, I think if you listen to what President Lagarde said last week, and what Bailey's and the statement, was there an issue here in the first place, right? So the fact that again, say in terms of Madame Lagarde's ability to really delineate financial
Come on.
stability versus price stability, and to pursue those objectives at the same time, and not generate any form of volatility whatsoever, I would say, since the last ECB decision, that really says a lot about fundamentals, and really sets the bar for to follow, right? And this is where I think a lot of attention needs to actually go back into the US in terms of why so much in terms of easing is actually a need for more right now. But another point for, I would say, not just the Eurozone banking sector, but the Eurozone economy in general, is that we're seeing improvement, or rather in the things which were less bad and progressive forecasting from the European Central Bank, staff projections, we're not looking at recession or anything like that. So surely in that context, when you look at household demand expansion and then credit demand expansion, and
Jay Powell's guidance when it comes to the Fed? Are more hikes coming?
Well, as we've highlighted in our research, just look at the ranges, for Treasury paper, right now, so from the 2 year or other just shorter dates. I don't think the market knows what it really wants to believe itself, right now. It really depends on the day of the week and what the news flow is, at this point. But I just go back to that point about even though the Fed has a dual mandate, it still has a price stability mandate, it has an inflation mandate, and at this point, I wouldn't say hikes is the priority in March. Began this year, noting that medium-term
Come on, man, you just need some movement.
be at a relatively high level and stay at a relatively high level to contain inflation and contain inflation expectations. So the staying at even at current levels, I think the market's unwillingness to even look at that really belies kind of understanding what the Fed is.
Yes, so the markets are confused. But on the other hand, towards the end of the year, there is this expectation, and in fact soon, right? Quite soon, there will be rate cuts. Jeffrey pinned that on Double Line Capital, saying on Twitter that Fed cutting rates.
Every single central bank right now is saying they are data dependent. Already is a bit of a concession to the market, if you want to call it that. But
Here comes oil, moving a little bit here, which is nice. Okay, rebounding off that 0.5. Looking okay, guys, we're looking okay. We can get a break through 69, we'll be coming all the way down. That'll be a nice move if we can get through 69. 68, 67. Yeah.
No one was surprised really because of that double-digit inflation print, but actually should the BOE have been more cautious given the importance of the financial sector to the UK economy?
I would say that
Let's have a little look at gold. Let's touch base on gold again. See what's happening. Okay. I mean, it's coming retesting that level, kind of making that move back up. So just need it to continue holding this level here. It's a nice test. If the candle pushes above this point, this previous candle, and even more so above this point here, then yeah, this is gonna continue rebounding back up. But yeah, I mean, stay patient. It's looking relatively good as things stand right now. Seeing a bit of that buy side volume coming in on here, which is nice. We just ideally want it to actually close beneath, well, above the previous red candle. And well, ideally, if we can get past this point here, then yeah, this is looking like okay, things are gonna definitely be moving up higher.
that really is an important point because if you do anchor inflation expectations, then potentially you won't get the mass steepening yield curve, the sell-off in long-dated maturities.
But yeah, this is going. Come on. Okay, we're putting in some profit now on these cryptos. 20% on Matic so far, so far so good. See if we can get a break. Seeing a little bit of a pickup. Not anything to be screaming about right now, but this is looking okay. Could potentially get that break. Let's keep on the 15-minute.
Unprecedented is often used and rarely justified, but the events of the past 2 weeks can perhaps be put into that category. In a moment like this, there's only one place to go to get the whole picture, and it is, of course, to our very own David Weston. In this exclusive Bloomberg Wall Street Week roundtable, he spoke to former US Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, former Fed Governor Dan Tarullo, and head of Bloomberg Economics Stephanie Flanders. Take a listen to this.
White House, if you were looking at this situation, what questions would you be asking to make sure you understood the possible ramifications of what we've seen so far in a broader financial context?
Well, before I answer that hypothetical, let me turn a question to my friend Dan, who I'll just say I think did an enormous amount to strengthen our financial system during his time at the Fed. Dan, I have heard it said, and I don't know, that even in 2022, the Fed stress tests that were applied to the largest banks did not include an analysis of the stress from a major interest rate hike. If that's true, that seems kind of bizarre from the point of view of the world of early 2022, when it certainly many people, certainly me on David's show, were emphasizing that there was likely to need to be very substantial increases in interest rates. Can you say something? And if the stress tests weren't considering increases in interest rates, then perhaps the exempting of Silicon Valley Bank from the stress tests was not central to understanding the problem. Can you say something about interest rate hikes and Fed stress tests?
Sure. So first off, I think, Larry, I agree with the statement you made toward the end of your question, which is, if Silicon Valley had been in last year's stress test for real rather than its dress rehearsal, I don't think it would have made much difference for precisely the reason you say, that they weren't stressing the things that were the SVB vulnerabilities. With respect to stress testing generally, over the last 5 or 6 years, the stress test has become eminently predictable. The scenario that's used is now a single scenario, which is essentially a variant on the very first one we put in some years ago. That is
Put in some profit here.
quite severe recession. But it follows the basic pattern of the scenario that was developed when we began doing the annual stress test. The scenario, of course, includes a reduction in interest rates because of the hypothesis of a recession and the Fed's reaction. When I was at the Fed, we were using also an alternative scenario. It's called the adverse rather than severely adverse scenario. And we use that
Here comes oil.
to test things other than the prototype of the severe recession.
So, yeah, this morning's putting in some profit. That's what we want to see. Yeah, rebounding off that 0.5. Okay. Let's see how far down this can go. Matic is kind of on the verge of making that breakout. Okay. So, yeah, let's see what we can get. So far, so good. It's looking good this morning. For sure. Here goes oil. Just need crypto to start making that move, making that break. We got in long on Matic, long on Bitcoin. We are holding that kind of inner trend line. So we just need that break. Seeing a little bit of a prop up on volume. Ideally, we want it to really push through. It's kind of failing to break through that inner line. We'll let it brew. It's still got majority of day to go. Yeah, at the moment, I mean, oil's looking nice. There's just very little volume, very, very little movement. I mean, look at how much. I mean, the dollar's not doing much at all this morning. I guess, I mean, a lot of the data is still yet to come out. Got Spanish GDP in 3 minutes. So, yeah, could get something here. Euro pound. We got some movement here.
That was whether or not it was in the stress test was something that central banks should have been thinking very hard about. And I think it was sort of striking that we had a lot of the debate around this. What are the hidden risks? You know, all the conversations that you will have had, David, when you ask regulators what's keeping you up at night. They would always talk about private equity. They'd talk about non-bank shadow banking has been the thing that people were, you know, was this worry for all these years.
Could get a break of that trend line. It's definitely a move that could play out.
Monetary policy actions by central banks that has actually caused this issue.
What a roundtable that was, Caroline. It was Bloomberg's David Weston speaking to Larry Summers, Dan Tarullo and Stephanie Sanders about how to safeguard the financial sector. And you can listen to that full episode as a podcast on Apple or Spotify.
Well, we're only a couple of minutes away from the European market open, but before that, let's just look ahead to what is on the agenda today with Bloomberg's James Walcott. Hi, James.
Hello, it's PMI out coming up, Caroline.
Yeah, so Spanish GDP in a minute's time, 8 o'clock. I mean, oil's continuing to come down. What a trade. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have the European market open in just a moment. Stock futures right now are down 0.4% on the Eurostoxx 50 futures. This is Bloomberg.
But thank you for the likes and follows as well, guys. Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, we're short on oil, long on Matic, long on Bitcoin, looking for that breakout. I mean, that's a potential break. I mean, we're getting Spanish GDP just now, so it could see getting a little bit of a movement. Could be a case we get a short rebound, maybe push towards this area of liquidity just up here. So literally very, very, very short move. If not, we could potentially be breaking through that trend line. Here goes oil. Woo! Woohoo! Come on. Beautiful. That's exactly what we want to see. We're getting some movement somewhere, I guess. We capitalize on it. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Right, if we can break through this area, I mean, we can get rid of this now, really. It's tested that 0.5 and get that back on there. See if we can get that break. If we can get that break, probably stop raining that stop loss right in. But yeah, let's see. I haven't moved that stop loss just yet, but just so I need that break. But we're looking good. We are looking good. This needs to make that move as well. What's up in here? Okay, so Spanish GDP's come in quarter on quarter 0.2, so an increase quarter on quarter. A decrease on year 2.6%. Could get a little bit of a push. Just up here, maybe. What a trade. What a trade, that oil. It's a very nice, weak, bearish candle just there. And as mentioned, if we break through that point there, I mean, there's plenty of room for things to come down, break through here. Looking at here, here, here. Lots of levels to come down. Could still actually see that $60 mark actually touch, you know. Look at how weak that looks. Very, very, very weak. Very weak. So, yeah, let's see. Could be onto something here. Much larger move in the market, so that would be very, 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 very nice. Okay, here we go. A little bit more of a prop up. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. What's happening here? Ooh, we're coming down. Yeah, that's a nice trend line. Like I said, I mean, it could break up, could break down. I don't see it breaking up massively if it does decide. Okay, do just probably look at finding resistance very quickly and then maybe breaking through. But yeah, well, I mean, keep a close eye on it. Not much is going on in the FX space right now. Your oil traders looking fire though. Very, 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 very nice.
Now, the US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says that regulators would be prepared to take further steps to protect the banking system.
Okay, we made that breach. What we're going to do is we are going to go risk-free. We're going to go to break even. So, well done. This morning's paying off so far. Reply. Bam. Yeah, well done, guys. Break even, just how we like it. Can't go wrong, can we? We are up decent amounts. Very, very nice amount so far.
What I think they have done is effectively to say the following. We do have the authority, along with the FDIC, to insure previously uninsured deposits in failed banks. And so what we are basically telling you is
very, 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 very nice.
We will insure the uninsured deposits.
Dan Tarullo, who oversaw financial regulation and supervision at the Fed, also sharply criticised the central bank's 2022 stress test metrics.
Ooh. See how the sellers come in here now. Ideally, weak sell side would be very nice. And then see a nice turnaround, but yeah, I guess we'll keep an eye on things. Got that 100 moving average, going to potentially hold some support. We'll see.
While Chu was answering questions, though, the UK Parliament banned TikTok on local networks and staff devices. US lawmakers and the Biden administration are exploring how to force ByteDance to sell its share of TikTok or ban the app altogether.
Well, Grant Shapps, give it up then on parliamentary ground. Let's get to other corporate stories. The company Block says it will explore legal action against short-selling Bloomberg Research over its report accusing the business of enabling fraudsters. Hindenburg's investigation alleges scammers were using Block's
very, 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 very nice. Ah, man, come on, give me something.
They're such great reporters, and they uncovered this very complicated but really well reported story.
Yeah, that's why. Your dollar index is making that push up higher. That's your problem.
The power plant from generating, and then you switch it on again, but you charge a much higher price. It got instant reaction from the Prime Minister's spokesperson. At a time when you've got the cost of living crisis, the GfK Consumer Confidence Index out this morning showing the pain.
Yeah, it's not great.
Story, as we said in the story a little earlier, the company's not necessarily doing anything wrong, not breaking any rules, so it does then ask questions about the way that the market is structured and whether we need a review, perhaps, of those rules.
Yeah, and also the idea that although power markets in Europe differ widely country by country, that perhaps this is an issue that is going to be looked at also across the European Union.
Right, we're coming up to resistance, so let's see how crypto kind of reacts at that point. At the moment, making that breakout down beneath. So yeah, just need to be nice and attentive to what's happening. Oil continues to make that move down. That's exactly what we like. Yeah. But yeah, very nice trade. As mentioned, we're break even, so risk free on this one, pulling in profit. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, looking weak. See that sell side, very nice sell side. So we should get a break, and as mentioned, breakthrough here is going to really move things. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit of support here. About 4 minutes left on the 15-minute candle. Not crazy volume coming in on that candle. So looks okay for now. Hopefully this can really find some resistance here and starts to slow down, move back down. That would be nice. If not, then yeah, might need to think about getting out and potentially looking for a move down to the downside. But the way that I'm looking at things playing out on Bitcoin is actually breaking up and out. Up and out. Okay, coming in, testing that resistance level again, and then making a move down and breaking through that trend line. That's what I'm looking at. Now, I'm just thinking whether it might be worth just extending that a little bit more and adding some margin. I need that back on. I just don't see. I'm not seeing that sell side volume to really kind of make the argument for breakthrough here just yet. So, I mean, very little sell side coming in at all. There's a bit of structure here as well. Just there. So it might be worth just adding a little bit more margin to that Bitcoin trade for push up, because we could also get a fake out on the bottom end. Yeah, this is starting to find a little bit of resistance here. That oil trade is beautiful. That's really made the morning. Should have stuck to the guns on the on that short of that trend line. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. Oil's coming through for us this morning. Yeah. See, I mean, it looks like it doesn't. The sell side pressure is very weak at the moment. Very, very, very weak. See a very quick rebound. Yeah, that would be a nice test up there. It's still looking okay.
prices will ease across the course of this year as well. So I think Sunak still is on course for his, despite the surprise we had on Wednesday, Sunak is still on course to get his to achieve his goal of halving inflation.
Okay, Dan, very interesting. We shall see. Dan Hansen is our senior UK economist. Well, let's move swiftly on then and talk about the
Those are just joining us. Welcome and good morning. Okay, we are looking for a long position on Bitcoin, looking for a long position on Matic to pull through. We are also, well, we're in on long positions on both of them, as well as a short position here on oil. Okay, it was a very, very, very nice trade on oil this morning. As you can see, came up and look how perfectly that tested that 0.5. Very, 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 very nice. Previous structure just went past the overextended, tapped the 0.5, saw a little bit of an increase on that sell side, and now we're moving down, broke through that previous structure just here, so should see that continuation trickling down. It just looks, it's been looking weak, very, very weak. We did try to get a short position somewhere back here, I think. But it was literally on this continuation here. But it just failed to hold this level. See how we got support, but we breached and we actually came and tested it again for support. So it built up. But yeah, this whole move here just very, very weak. See how that volume just dips overall. So that momentum just weak from that buy side. And then we got that break of that trend line just here, and look at how we got that combination, that sell side coming in terms of volume, picking up in that momentum. Very weak buy side on that rebound, so it's looking nice for a continuation back down. Now these are your levels of, well, potential TPs. If you're, I mean, also if things kind of look good and the sell side do start to come up, $60 is looking pretty nice, but that's a little bit of medium term to long term. I'd say medium term time horizon. If you're just day trading it, okay, 1, 2, take it either 1 or 2 TP. So this area here, if we breach, will come down to that next area just there and cash out, and then see kind of how things kind of react. Could be that move a little bit lower, or rebound and then come down, or rebound come down. There'll be other potential entries on the card, but yeah, if you're very much short term, just play it to 1 or 2 here. Yeah, cash out. It's Friday, baby. Cash in that profit. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. You know what? The Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen just giving such mixed signals. I'm really not putting any sort of trust or confidence, or giving any confidence really to markets. It's so just all over the place at the moment. Yeah. There's no actual direction at all. No direction. And that is a problem. Exactly. There's no direction, no clarity, no. Yeah, this oil trade is going to be the one for today, I guess. Yeah, just a very, very nice structure to go off. Very nice structure.
On the latest Sound On podcast, Democratic Senator Mark Warner of Virginia has legislation that could ban TikTok.
It's a TikTok thing. Jesus Christ. Okay, so now we're back at some sort of resistance on the dollar. We do need to see that resistance pulling through. If we continue to fail, yeah, it probably looks like somewhat of a bottom. We've not had any gaps being left behind. So, yeah, I mean, I need that resistance to come in. But the thing is, I mean, look how much the dollar's moved, right? Look at how much crypto has moved. Very, very, very little, and still holding on. So, yeah, could be the case as soon as we find this resistance that Bitcoin, crypto makes that turnaround. And we start to find support and make a quick move. Yeah, whilst kind of this finds resistance, starts structuring back up. At the moment, there's a little bit of a disconnect between your crypto and your dollar. A little bit. It's not moving so in sync, if that makes sense. It's a little bit of a delay. That's the thing also, I mean, it can be a little bit misleading, a little bit dangerous when a lot of people obviously understand that your dollar index and your risk on assets, and crypto is a risk on asset, right? Moving an inverse relationship whenever they see, okay, that dollar index is moving up here. Okay, we must be seeing a sell-off in crypto. It's not always the case, right? Especially when you start seeing kind of a stronger move on the dollar, for instance, and it's not matching up with your crypto. Okay, when this finds a resistance, this starts to move. Okay, so it's kind of signaling, okay, crypto has, well, but it's still holding on to a potential little bit more of an increase in prices before actually making that much larger move back down in price as kind of your dollar moves up. See how we're finding resistance here now, and see how this starts to move back up. Realistically, I mean, 0.33% increase in the dollar today, or well, currently, should have got that breakout to the downside, really. But yeah, it seems like the buyers are still holding on. So this is still a strong, still got quite a lot of buyers in crypto. Still got a lot of buyers. Finding a bit of support, but yeah. Those that are just joining us, welcome, guys. Feel free to message us in the chat with any TA that you want us to go over. More than happy to touch base on that. Yeah, let's see what we can get here on oil. Seeing a little bit of support, yeah, obviously, as dollar does a little bit of structuring up. Let's see if we can get this push up. Now, I mean, it's Friday, it's the end of the week. Don't expect crazy moves. In terms of your economic calendar for today, there's a bit of data. It's majority European data. Okay, so Spanish GDP just came out this morning. I mean, it's still morning, but about about an hour and a half ago now. We got retail sales from the UK. Okay, it is showing a little bit more strength. It has come down. Okay, but quarter on quarter has gone up. Okay, year on year has come down, but just at a lesser rate than the previous year. So we got French manufacturing PMI 47.7. Okay, increase on previous, below forecast. So we got services PMI from France 55.5, increase from previous at 53.1. Above expectations too. Okay, 6 minutes away from German composite PMI, manufacturing PMI, services PMI. Okay, and then in 36 minutes we get some European data. Again, the same manufacturing PMI, services PMI. We also get the S&P Global composite. So we're getting little bits of data coming in, which is good. Slowly but surely we get a little bit more movement. So yeah, let's see. Yeah. So we got that breakdown lower, broke through that trend line, right? Would have been a nice trade. A bit of a rebound here. Just came all the way to this previous structure here. Now, a bit of a tip, guys. So, those are relatively new, okay, or maybe not. When you're looking for TPs or potential kind of support resistance areas, okay, and this is something that we do go over with members. So on kind of key levels of support, right? So you find support, price action, bam, and you kind of pick out a potential support level. Okay, so there's previous price action. Okay, the price action that you're looking for a rebound, right, is W formation. Sorry, a bit of a lag there. Okay, so it comes down to support. It rebounds for one, comes back down, retest. It could push down a little bit lower and push back up. This is your structure that you're looking for a breakout, right? So boom, it breaks out. So a lot of the times when you watch my lives and I'm looking at structure, I'll be like, okay, ideally I want to see a rebound. I want to see the candle close and break above this previous candle, okay, or structure. So let's say it does that, okay, and it actually pushes up. Now, what you're looking for a confirmation, and this is where you're looking for your entry. You're not necessarily looking for entries at the actual support level, okay? It's actually considered more risky to do so, okay? So you're not trying to catch the bottoms or the tops. You're looking for that confirmation and then get in. So you have your W formation. It comes down to that support level. It breaks through this previous structure. What you're looking for is that retest. Now, obviously, I mean, those that are new, you might not know. Those that have got a little bit more experience, you definitely would have heard this over and over again. So, old support turns into new resistance. Old resistance turns into new support, right? And that's where you kind of get your confirmation. Okay, it comes in. So previous resistance turns into new support. It confirms. And then we get that continuation back up, right? Now this is just using your price action. Okay, now that's why we kind of look at your volume. Okay, what is volume telling me? Okay, is it confirming? Is it going hand in hand with the price action? Is it really confirming here? Or is what's the relationship between price action and the actual volume? Now that's on your bottom, and it's called a W formation because it is a W formation. But that's your entry right there. Okay, on that confirmation. But on the other side, so you're flipping it over, resistance. Okay, what you are looking for, and I think price is coming down. Okay, that's fine. What you're looking for? Let's say this is your resistance area here. This line. What you're looking for is price, boom, 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 comes up, test that resistance once, comes back down, pushes back up. Now it could come perfectly to the same level, sorry. Have I got it somewhere? No, it's deleted. So it could come back to the same level test. Could consider that as a double top, yes. Or push a little bit past it. It's fine too, okay? You just need to be keeping a close eye on what's happening in terms of price action, right? So that's your M formation. It comes back down. This is your support, okay? That's where you're looking for prices to break through. It breaks through. It comes back up and retests that level as new resistance. So old support into new resistance. That's your confirmation. Bam, and it comes down. And you will see that over and over again. And that's essentially what you're looking for. Now, let's say prices come down and fail to break through this previous structure here, right? And start to ramp up back up. Then that's where your trade gets cancelled and pushes back up. That's why a lot of the time, right, just you wait for the confirmation, right? It's the strongest part and you get that instant reaction. So you're not always just looking, okay, I'm just going to catch the top. Magically catch the top. What if it's just a short breach touch and it moves back up? Happens all the time on crypto, all the time. So you're just gonna get caught out, right? And it's not about catching the entire move; it's about catching the majority of the move, and always bear that in mind, right? It's all about catching the majority of the move, not the entire move. Yeah, or that's a good rule of thumb to consider. Let's have a little look. I mean, yeah. Let that structure continue, not get in too much. So we got German data out. German composite PMI 52.6, up from previous at 50.7, up on consensus at 51. Okay, so manufacturing PMI 44.4. Actually, that's down. Okay, so that's down from previous. Forecast was actually at 47. So you were expecting to actually increase from previous, but we're down on that point. German services PMI actually pushed back up. So it's relatively big. Manufacturing PMI is down. Now next is European PMIs coming out in 28 minutes, and then we get UK data. Yeah, so all throughout this morning we get little bits of data here and there. And then 12:30 UK time we get some US data. So there'll be a bit of a gap between the UK data and the next US data. Here we go, back down. So this is an example, for instance. So if there'll be some people that just joined us. We were saying as things come down here, we want to see that break of that level for us to move the stop loss either to here or break even. Okay, we got that break. So this was your level to look at for breakout, right? See how we got that nice kind of stronger move. You see now how prices went and revisited that line perfectly. It came down, rebound, retest, old support, new resistance, bam, and we come back down. Okay, so ideally the same thing we want to see happen again here, right? So we want to see a break through this level. So there's liquidity in between these two levels. Ideally, we want to see a break, and if we can get a retest as from old support into new resistance, again, we should see a next impulse leg, right? And a bit of a larger move, and that'll confirm, okay, that's old support turns into new resistance, and now we can kind of look for that continuation back down. So that's what essentially you're looking for as things as prices continue moving, right? We're still continuing to find a bit of resistance here on the dollar, which is good. We're at that 100 moving average on the 1 hour. So let's see. Yeah. But as mentioned, we'll get a full market update sent out, so we'll do a full recording for that. It won't be here on TradingView, but we will get it out to you all before the end of today, so that at least you're in the know how for the weekend. Let's see if this can hold. We can push down to that 100. Now I think I'm just going to extend this stop just ever so slightly so I don't get caught on the overextension. So I'll move it to about 28k just to be safe, and I'm going to add a little bit more margin at that 100 moving average if we get the right price action. Okay. Just need to be a little bit careful here. Where's 28? Okay. This still looks good. Okay. I'm not looking at any FX right now. See whether we can hold. We're gonna add. Let me have a look. Yeah, we're gonna add a little bit more margin here. Now, I mean, let me have a little look, man. Okay, I'm gonna add some margin, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually move this a bit further down this stop. I have to move it to about 27. Yeah, it should be fine. 27.87. Okay, perfect. get out of my way. Let's see if we can hold this level here. We did talk about potential fake out, so just need to be careful of that too. At the moment, let's see what we can get. I might be wrong. If we are wrong, we are wrong. But I mean, this is finding a bit of resistance. Kind of making that push up higher. Let's see if we can hold. Or that previous structure just here, see. And this is where we go back to, okay, you got your W formation just there. That's your new structure to go off. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. So this has been happening quite a lot on Bitcoin, okay? You got kind of these symmetrical triangles forming. A lot of the time you kind of just get the breakout either way, right? But you get it fakes out, okay, breaches it and fakes out, and then it moves straight back into structure. So that's why we've kind of compensated for it. Otherwise we would have just stayed out. But yeah, this has been happening quite a lot on crypto. Where's our entry now? 21.6. This is where we've got our average entry now. So yeah, just need to compensate. Okay, it happens. Yeah, it's just how the crypto market works. Overextends. It has a tendency to overextend and kind of fake out more so than other markets. Now this is looking very nice, guys. Very, very, very nice. Now ideally, I mean, what, we got 3.5 minutes left on the 15. Now it could be the case, okay. I mean, see where it kind of closes off, but it could push up here or push up here. It still looks good for that continuation. Might get a little bit of structure forming. We'll see, but guys, this is beautiful trade. Beautiful. Cannot complain about that one, can we? What a trade. Alright, we're going to move this as well. Just give that 1.09. So also the thing that you need to consider on right at the end of the trading week, right, volume just tails off. So you don't really get those strong kind of reactions and moves. A lot of the time price just fluctuates and builds up structure. So yeah, again, got to give it a little bit more of that room to maneuver within and actually move in its true direction. Especially, I mean, we've had decent moves in crypto this week. So yeah, things are gonna structure up a little bit. But what a beautiful trade. Oil has blessed us this morning. Really, really nice. See how much can continue. Now I'm gonna move my stop loss into profit. I'm gonna move it just up here to 69.6. Okay, so now we're in profit. Whatever the outcome is, we pull in cash. So yeah, hats off, hats off. Move us out to 69.6. Let's get it. beautiful. There's a little bit of liquidity at that level as well. We'll see how well that holds. What's this doing? Dollar is up slightly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can kind of hold. But I mean, look at that. What a trade. What a trade. Now, I mean, yeah, let's see. As mentioned, a little bit of a prop up. Come test this previous level support, new resistance. Capture a little bit more liquidity for that next move down. I think we will take our profit here at 60, just above 68. Yeah. But yeah, what a trade. What a trade. Anyone that's got in on that, well done. Very, very nice trade for the morning. Now, I mean, crypto isn't moving as we want it to. So, yeah, as mentioned, just gonna have to give it a little bit more room to build up. Yeah, there's quite a decent amount of support that needs to get through. So, we'll see. Could also, I mean, just absolutely floor it. Let's see how well it holds. Those that are just joining us, welcome to the stream. Feel free to touch base with us in the chat. Yeah, more than happy to answer questions and go through any TA. Crypto's making a little bit of a break down. Now, this is your next area of support here. Now, we've broken through this previous structure. Okay. Yeah, there's liquidity here. You got that 200 as well as that order block there. So, well, and the long-term trend line, really. Right, I can get rid of this structure here. I don't need that anymore. But, yeah, I mean, we've got that trend line, right? That trend line. So, is it going to be able to hold? If it holds, should see some nice support. Some buy side should start to come in here. If it does, then we're in the good. We'll add a little bit more margin. Average our price down. Yeah. We'll keep on top of it. If not, then yeah, we'll take the L. This is the big dub for today. Yeah, this was just perfect structure this morning. Perfect structure. Really, really nice structure to go off. Let's see if we can get a rebound here. Okay. Let's have a little look at gold. Okay. Yeah, we're coming down. Okay, just building that structure. Continue to build that structure. Actually got that rebound quite nicely off that level that we spoke about. So we could potentially get a long position. Maybe. Still looking relatively weak. Got a little bit of that sell side. See if we got any buy side on that rebound. Ooh. Yeah, we got a little bit of buy side there. It's not too bad. Yeah, we could potentially get a little bit more structure in occurring here. Bam, 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 and then actually moving up. But yeah, things are now looking good. That's the area that we want to see holding. This is it. And we've come down into it. So yeah. I just need crypto just needs to give me something. Thank you for the follows. Are we getting any buy side? That's the question. Very little. Very, very, very little. Still looking good. Come on, we just need some buy side. Give me that rebound. And I can add a little bit more margin to my trades. Ooh. Alright, can we get that? Can we get a bit of that price action here now? Gold's making that move up. Where's my entry on this? 1.31, just there. Okay. Are we getting some support? Right, we've come down, we tested this. Now this is where we need support. If it breaches, then yeah, it's probably going to make that move. That is a nice candle. That is a nice candle. Very nice candle. Can we get that continuation? We want it to push above this level here now. That is nice. That is nice. We just need that follow through now. Ooh. Not getting it. Give me that follow through. Okay. Here comes the follow through. Here comes the follow through. Alright, we're gonna add some margin here, guys. Let's get it. Alright, now let's see if we can get confirmation, right? So there's our W formation. We want to see that confirmation on holding this level and then continuing back up, right? Okay, getting a little bit of support here as well. Okay, we're going to hold our guns on this one and see whether we can come up. Just hold this level here and then continue back down. That's ideally our exit. Just above that 68 is potentially, well, where we're looking to get out. Now, okay, not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we come down, see this test here, held it. Could be that it needs to reconfirm it a little bit more. Now this is where we're looking for a breakout. Okay, we're looking for a breakout of that structure. Then this is your next structure to look for a breakout. And then, I mean, that kind of confirms it. We also do need that volume confirmation on that move back up. Otherwise, things will. I mean, the buyers will have to search for liquidity a bit lower down.
Wrapping up that round table, sort of saying, look, it's quite obvious what the issue was with the bank crisis. It wasn't anything unusual. It was actually what was on banks' balance sheets. She was there with Larry Summers and Dan Tarullo speaking to Bloomberg's David Weston, and you can watch that full episode.
But we got a nice reaction off that level. It was a nice reaction. We just need it to follow through now. But this is what I mean, guys. Obviously, we got that compression. We got that compression here. Got that breakout. But I mean, it's broken out. We've not pushed back into structure just yet. But I mean, that's a nice reaction from support there. So it's got a good chance of actually pushing back up. Dollar index is still at that level. Okay, it's still at that 100. It's attempting to break through. So let's see how things kind of play out here. Data. What have we got out? 4 minutes. We get EU data. So it's either breaking through, continuing up, or we're pulling back. Okay, now hopefully we do. I mean, the dollar pulls back. This pushes up. That would be beautiful. This is building up on a little bit of a bottom. Now our stop loss is in profit, 69.6, but still got a little bit more movement. Ideally, I want it to come down into this kind of previous area of structure here. That'll be a nice take profit to get out. What's that? What's that? 190 pips. Can't go wrong, can we? That's a good morning. Good morning. Okay, so see how ran out. We failed to break through here. Now we're coming down. This is still your structure, so this is where you want it to hold. Come down here, hold, and then make a break of this level of resistance. So now this is where price kind of comes, tests resistance, tests support, and kind of decides, okay, which direction do I actually want to come in. This is its time. As it comes down here, tests this previous structure here, resistance, new support. As the green candles start to come in, okay, you want to see the buy side start to pick up in volume, okay, for that break. Just remember, it needs strength, it needs liquidity, it needs momentum to break through these levels. So if the sellers pick up in momentum and volume, okay, you could see a break through this structure. It means it comes down, potentially comes retest, and then moves back down. So yeah, that's what we're looking for. But at least we got structure. We know kind of what we should be expecting, right? Patel, hi, hello, welcome to the stream. Okay, this is making a bit of a push up. Again, same thing with this. We wanted to hold this level here. Hold that level. Got a little bit of a level here as well. So it can either rebound off here or it can come and rebound off there. That's cool. So let's keep an eye on things. Okay. This is starting to pull back. See this? Hopefully we can get that move back up here now. The structure here. Okay. 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 Come on. Give me something. Seeing a little bit of a pullback, which is nice. This is... Oh, okay. Got a little bit of continuation. How can I join your VIP channel? You're going to have to message me privately, mate. I can't give you that information on a live on TradingView, otherwise I get banned, and I don't want to get banned. So, yeah, message me privately. Just click on my logo. Okay, and yeah, you can click on message and just message me privately, and then I can answer your question on there. But yeah, I mean, this month, have we smashed it? You wait for that end of month report coming in next week. It's going to be hot. Hot, 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 hot. Very, very, very good month indeed. Just beautiful. Seeing a little bit of a rebound, which is nice. Okay, here we go. Now this is where you want to see how we come to that previous structure there. See, now we come here, see if we can, oh well, we've kind of rebounded. Now you want to see that buy side. You want to see the buy side start to come in. See how we kind of getting a little bit of an extra push here. That's exactly what we want to see for that break. You don't need to overcomplicate your TA, really don't. Okay, but this is essentially what you look for on the lower time frame. Okay, you want to see those slight differences and reaction in terms of volume from your structure. Okay, don't need to overcomplicate things. It's what we teach is keep it nice and simple. Just simple price actions. All that you need to look at. No need none of these freaking indicators left, right, and center just clouding up your chart. Nice and simple. See, nice rebound. Exactly what you want to see. This is kind of struggling. So, and see, I mean, this is your previous trend line. So until we kind of really come back up and past this point here, it's still got a good chance of actually turning around. Even my straight lines are not on. Okay, but you kind of get the idea. We've still got a little bit of resistance to actually get through to go back into structure. And this is making a little bit of a push up. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so our our crypto trades are now I mean the Bitcoin trades coming into slight profit here. So we've averaged in. Okay, so let's see how it can continue. We've given it enough space. If it breaks through here and it comes down, then yeah, we're out. But yeah, That's why I'm looking for. There's not enough sell side. Really isn't enough sell side. But I mean, if we kind of really start to struggle, so the same thing on that 1 minute chart in terms of structure that I was talking about. You want it to play out here. Okay, so down, up. Okay, we could come back down, retest, come back up here, kind of test this level, kind of hold, and then continue back up. That could very much play out. Okay, so again, just letting the structure kind of give us direction and understanding. Okay, what we play into next year. But yeah, essentially, I'm looking for a move up, and then finding kind of stronger resistance, seeing a bit more supply being dumped for that break through that trend line. Now, will that break of the trend line happen today or the weekend? There's a chance, but yeah, I need to see that sell side come in. Okay, now there's a chance up until we break through that structure. So that structure that I just spoke about, so down, up, this is its opportunity to come here. Okay, so it could actually fail to hold this level and we break down then, or we push up, fail to kind of really strengthen here and we come back down that way. That's your opportunity to make that break. Otherwise, it's going to play out how we're expecting it, like this, and actually push up. And then what does that mean? It just means that that break of that trend line is more than likely to happen next week. So the break of the trend line could happen today, okay, but it has to it has to play out to how we've just kind of pointed it out there. Okay, this is now at our resistance. Now we don't want it to. I mean, it could still push up a little bit higher and we'll still be okay. I find that preposterous. Okay, got a little bit more structure here. Thank you for the follows, guys. See how we come test to that level. Nice. Now, let me see. Let me think about this. Ooh. Okay, so we failed to hold that level there. Okay. Now we need to hold this level. Ah, man. Okay, so it's come down. It's tapping into this liquidity just there. Okay, it needs to hold that level.
tested an underwater attack drone in its latest warning to South Korea and the U.S. to stop their current military drills. According to state media, the weapon fitted with a nuclear warhead would destroy enemies with a large radioactive wave. Analysts are skeptical. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says funding for Ukraine should last for much of the year.
All right, we're going to move our stop loss down to 69 points. 69.3 on oil.
This is a series of hearings focused on the budget request for an 11% increase. Some lawmakers have worried money is being lost to corruption and that other nations are not doing enough. Blinken telling the committee the U.S. does have real burden, but notes the other nations are doing other jobs like taking in refugees. In San Francisco, I'm Ed Baxter, Bloomberg Daybreak. Global news 24 hours a day, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in over 120 countries. I'm Michael Barr. This is Bloomberg, Nathan.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay, we're holding. Needs to really rebound here. I mean, the dollar's making a move down, so could get a nice push. See how it holds here. Your dollar's looking a bit weaker here. Here's your rebound. Let's get it. Come on. Still looking weak here. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna let that oil trade kind of play out. Again, we have moved that stop loss to 69.3. It's in profit, so yeah, we'll just let it roll. We'll roll with the charts, roll with price movement. But yeah. This crypto's a little bit still kind of playing dangerous with me. Need that support to hold.
John, thank you. Bloomberg Sports was brought to you by Audi. Don't let someone else drive off. In the Audi model you've always wanted, visit your local Florida State Audi dealer to get behind the wheel of yours today, or visit AudiOffers.com for more information. What is it going to take to bring stability to the banking industry? Stay with us for an extended Bloomberg roundtable discussion. The former Secretary of the Treasury, Larry Summers, former Fed Governor David Weston, and Bloomberg's You're listening to Bloomberg Daybreak.
Oil's obviously had that kind of move down, that first leg down for that morning session. Okay, so now it's just kind of cooling off a little bit ahead of that New York session. So see, bam, bam, continue all the way back down. It's looking pretty sweet, so yeah, we wanted to hold this level here. If it breaks through here, well, ideally break and close above it, then yeah, that'll move up higher. It's not worth staying in at that point. So we'll get out, cash in the profit, and run.
Told the banks were so strong we didn't have to worry about it. What happened here? We didn't think that we still had banking problems.
I trust that the largest banks truly are in a much better capital and liquidity position
Need that buy side come in.
We know first that there was a significant supervisory failure somewhere along the way. Was that failure in the San Francisco Fed's inability to identify problems of growth and maturity mismatches and the like early on? Was it a supervisory failure because of the light touch approach to supervision that the Federal Reserve Board had put in place over the last 4 or 5 years? Or was it a supervisory failure because the supervisory
Let's see if it can hold. Going up and down. That's your area liquidity on Matic. This is moving back down. Guys, by the way, if anyone's not entered oil, this is a good point to enter. Set your stop loss. I mean, 69.3, just have it same as us. Nice and simple. And just play it down to this next one. Yeah. Easy. Play it to that next TP there. 2.7 RR. Nice. Pretty sweet.
But I think in the most immediate sense, this is clearly a supervisory failure. Other factors may be uncovered as the Fed's own investigation proceeds.
So Larry, let's put you back at the Treasury, or for that matter, at the White House. If you were looking at this situation, what questions would you be asking to make sure you understood the possible ramifications of what we've seen so far in a broader financial context?
Before I answer that hypothetical, let me put a question to my friend Dan, who I'll just say I think did an enormous amount to strengthen our financial system during his time at the Fed. Dan, I've heard it said, and I don't know, that even in 2022.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can start making that top breakthrough here. That's your level to break through. Come somewhere around that level, it'll be a nice move.
If that's true, that seems kind of bizarre from the point of view of the world of early 2022, when it certainly many people, certainly me on
yeah.
Something about interest rate hikes and Fed stress tests?
Sure. So first off, I think, Larry, I agree with the statement you made toward the end of your question, which is, if Silicon Valley had been...
Where's our entry? 68086.
I don't think it would have made much difference.
Yeah, it's about there.
The reason you say that they weren't stressing the things that were the SVB vulnerabilities. With respect to stress testing generally, again, over the last 5 or 6 years, the stress test has become eminently predictable.
That Matic's still looking a little bit weak though.
Single scenario, which is essentially a variant on the very first one we put in some years ago that is a severe,
Come on.
quite severe recession. But it follows the basic pattern.
Those that are just joining us, welcome guys. So in our long position for Bitcoin, long position on Matic, short position on oil. Come and retest this. A good opportunity to get involved on this oil short play. It's about, well, just above 68, 68.1. Be nice target to play to. But yeah, things are looking good here. That's the trade for the morning. That's for sure. Our stop loss is at 60 or 69.3, so nicely in profit. We got in all the way up here. So, yeah, this morning's live trading session's been good so far. Just looking to actually cash in at the moment. So, yeah, but the structure's setting up perfectly as mentioned. Prices coming up, retesting that previous level of support as new resistance. Now making that move down now. Yeah, we want it to start ramping back down, which is, by the looks of it, it's looking good. I mean, it's insignificant really on the 1 minute. 1 minute is more for price action and actually that volume and setting up that structure. But as you can see, you got kind of little head and shoulders there. That's your neckline. Let's see if we can make that break. But again, it's on the very low time frame. It doesn't mean a whole load. It can easily push back up. But as you can see, structure is very nice. Very, 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 very nice. Just making a push back up. Okay. Now ideally I want a little bit more structure here on gold. Something like this, come back down and then push back up. But that's the area that we were looking for to hold our support. It done that, it came in, and now move back up. But I just want it. I need just that little bit extra confirmation, and then I can look at taking that long position. But yeah. Okay, so this is where it comes back up. Now, we need it to hold this level here. This box just here. Okay. And then come back down. Just come up. Test this level here. Nice. That was first. Now we need it to hold this second area. If not, then let's cash it in. Just continuing to set up structure. Gold USD, yeah. So as mentioned, we're waiting for structure, mate. So this is your area of support. Okay, it's done that just here. Okay, now I just need it ideally to come back down, hold this level here, and then I'll look at taking a long position, seeing if we can break through that structure there. Yeah, this one test is not enough for me at the moment, but it's looking good. It's not looking bad at the moment. But yeah, I need kind of on the very low time frame. All right, I just need that. I need that turnaround and holding of support before getting in. That buy side's still kind of declining at the moment, so yeah, I feel like we can still get a bit of a better entry here. Ideally, come down and test somewhere around this level here, somewhere around here. Come down, retest, build up, and then actually make that move. So continuing to hold, be patient. Okay, there's no need to rush into anything. Yeah, this oil trade's pulled in very nice amounts, so there's no rush, no rush. Thank you for the follows and likes, very much appreciated.
Regulators, what's keeping you up at night? They would always talk about private equity. They'd talk about non-bank shadow banking has been the thing that people were, was this worry for all these years. And in fact, it was the most obvious problem sitting on bank balance sheets as a direct result of monetary policy actions by central banks that has actually caused this issue. I would just say, though, one of the reasons maybe they weren't looking at that so closely, although I'd be interested to know what Dan and Larry think about this. There is an element of this which is new, and we see in the speed with which deposits left these institutions, and that's the non-stickiness of those deposits. And I think one of the things that regulators were thinking when they considered interest rate risk potentially was
we're holding on to here, which is good.
A self-hedging mechanism in a bank of the fact that deposits would be slow.
Can we hold and can we turn around? That's the question. This is that first level of support. Okay, this is now starting to stagger nicely. Here we go.
We had a decision from the Fed this week to raise another 25 basis points. Some people had been urging that actually they just hold given the difficulty of banking. At the same time, Jay Powell, admitted that there's more uncertainty about the extent to which what's already happened with financial conditions may have essentially imposed a further rate hike already. Did they get it right, Dan, from your point of view? Did Jay Powell get it right?
Market expectations helped them. They had sort of converged around 25 basis points, and so then it became a communication issue. He said quite explicitly it's too soon to tell how monetary policy should respond to the anticipated credit tightening. But I actually think their actions yesterday were a fairly significant response. I mean, everybody, 3 or 4 weeks ago, people were anticipating a 50 basis point increase. We get 25. 3 or 4 weeks ago, we thought we might see the SEP suggest a ceiling of 5.75.
Here we go, pushing, making that push back up, which is nice.
And now they're back to exactly where they were in December, last December when they did the last SEP. And of course, they changed the language on what forward guidance type language. Instead of ongoing increases, we're back to may have some firming, and of course, some people are reading that as the end or close to the end.
Yeah, I did. Still want to come down a little bit more on that gold. Where's my entry on Matsy 1.12? Yeah, just shy off breaking even here at the moment. Currently 5%. We're up 35% on Bitcoin so far. Okay, nice. Come on, show me that money. Alright, we come to that 50 now. This is your, I mean, as we went through earlier, now we're at that resistance point, right? A natural level of resistance. Now again, a little bit of a pullback, structuring up again. See how we got that nice increase of buy side again, as mentioned. So we got that nice increase of buy side from momentum breaking through this point here. Now what we're looking for is a little bit of a pullback and holding on to old resistance, new support just here. Okay, and then we can start continuing back up. Now we could overextend ever so slightly. That's all good as well. Ideally, we don't want it to break through this previous low. No, so yeah, things are looking good. Good. And this is where I mentioned, guys, see how we got that breach of that compression there. So that's where we got that compression, that symmetrical triangle broke out, and now we're back into that structure. It happens over and over again in crypto, and you really do just need to watch out for it. Yeah, don't get caught out by it. You're expecting, oh, okay, we've broken through. We're going to see a large breakout and continuation, which, I mean, by theory, you should really be seeing that. But yeah, failed that first support. Really nice long-term trend line there, or relatively long-term support here. Liquidity tapped in, 200 moving average. Nice few areas or few levels of confluence, and moving back up. Right, I'm getting out here on oil. Close out, cash in the profits. Well done. Yeah. Ideally, I would have wanted to hold that level. It's not holding on, so we'll get out. If you want to hold on and potentially chase for that lower target, that's up to you. I'm gonna cash in some profit for this morning. So you can't go wrong. It's 90 pips. I'd say I'm happy with 90 pips on oil. Some nice profit. Can't go wrong. Okay, so yeah, well done. We'll take it. We'll take it and run. Gold is gone. I'll let that do its thing. Now let's concentrate here on our crypto trades. Let's put some eyes. What's happening here? Okay. So your dollar index is going to build up on a bit of structure here by the looks of it. That's short resistance. Ideally, we want it to hold and come down here. Making that push up slightly higher now. Alright. Ooh, that's not good. Getting that volume coming in here now. I mean, we've come down to that level that we pointed out. We wanted to hold that point. It needs to hold. Partly due to this doing its thing as well. Just bear in mind, I mean, the dollar's had that 100 moving average as well. So there's a bit of resistance happening here. As you see here. Let's see if we can hold. Yeah, I guess there's going to need to be a little bit more brewing time. Ooh. Here goes oil. Right. Should we get back in?
North Korea claimed today to have tested a nuclear-capable underwater drone designed to generate a gigantic radioactive tsunami that would destroy naval strike groups and ports. It's believed a norovirus made students ill at Long Island High School. About 250 students missed classes at Babylon High School earlier this week. About 700 students go to the school. School officials in Denver are sending 2 armed officers and mental health professionals to all high schools for the rest of the academic year. It is after 2 administrators were shot by a 17-year-old.
Come on, let's go.
East High School. Officials say the student later died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Denver School Superintendent Alex Marrero.
Is it the fix? We do not know. We know that going back to extremes isn't a solution, but this is the right way forward.
Meanwhile, the president of the school board calls the shootings a societal failure. Global news 24 hours a day, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in over 120 countries. I'm Michael Barr. This is Bloomberg. Nathan.
Thanks, Michael. Stash Hour.
Thanks, Nathan. Knicks in Orlando played without Jalen Brunson, fell behind by 19, had a 23-4 run to tie the game, but Tom Thibodeau said later they exerted so much energy in the comeback.
All right. If you want to. Sweat up.
For the Knicks, who've now lost 3 in a row, the Nets have dropped their last 5, blew a late lead at Barclays. Cleveland won 116-114 on an Isaac Okoro three-pointer less than a second ago. Donovan Mitchell, 31 points. Mikal Bridges led Brooklyn with 32. Rangers at Carolina are 10 down for its second period. Game was 1-1 in the third.
Spins back behind his own goal line.
Bit of buy side coming in on there.
Panarin stops to the far circle, finds Fox, fires, and scores! And this one did go in! And the Rangers take a 2-1 lead. By Panarin. And a better shot by Fox.
On ESPN New York, Adam Fox had gone 24 games without scoring. Rangers won 2-1. They're 7-1-1 in their last 9 games. At the Garden, tomorrow's NCAA East Regional Final. Kansas State, a team that was picked to finish last in the Big 12, and Florida Atlantic, a school that had never before won a tourney game. K-State won a thriller.
It's a bit dodgy. A bit dodgy.
West Final in Vegas will be UConn and Gonzaga. Huskies a blowout of Arkansas. Gonzaga on a three-pointer.
Yeah, don't like it anymore. Ba-ba-da-ba.
Brought to you by Audi. Don't let someone else drive off in the Audi model you've always wanted. Visit your local tri-state Audi dealer to get behind the wheel of yours today, or visit AudiOffers.com for more information.
It's hard to keep up with breaking global business news. There was a mixed day here in the States.
Volatility is sky high.
But at Bloomberg, our seasoned reporters and anchors make it look easy.
European stocks put a fresh record. Bears have basically been rendered obsolete.
The rate hike dance is playing out at belly of the curve.
Are you worried about a wage price spiral?
A lot of Wall Street strategists getting more and more cautious here.
Bloomberg Radio, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com. Bloomberg, the world is listening.
This should start. Should make a move up, hopefully. Do.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take fire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time.
I'm going to take a potential long here. Let me see if I can break through this area.
Whether you're an in-house counsel or in private practice,
So I think I got a bit of that volume coming in on here. Still half the candle left. Yeah, I'm going to take a long here on gold.
you'll grasp the latest trends in the legal industry, helping you achieve better results. For the practice of law, the business of law, the future of law, the difference is Bloomberg Law. Learn more at BloombergLaw.com.
Some bonds last a lifetime. Some bonds inspire confidence. And some you grow to rely on. These are the bonds worth investing in. For over 50 years, PIMCO has reinvented fixed income to create opportunities for investors in every market environment. So no matter what happens, you can build the bonds that mean the most to you. PIMCO, a global leader in active fixed income. Learn more at PIMCO.com/bonds. All investments contain risk and may lose value. Consult your investment professional before investing.
This is the story of a very special woman. Just a few knew about her superpowers. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician.
Okay, let's go.
Masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella.
Yeah, gold. We're taking a long here, guys. That's the trade setup. See if we can break through this breach through here. It'll be very, very nice. Still could come down, retest this point here. We'll add some margin here. And if it comes back down, then yeah, and get out. But we're looking good. Currently up a little bit of money here. This still coming down. Jeez.
By tapping into intellectual capital, targeted marketing strategies, tailored development programs. Everything you need to
We need to start ramping up.
Welcome to your advisor advantage. Welcome to Commonwealth. To learn more, visit commonwealth.com. Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA/SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Still holding on to structure. It's building up on that structure again. As we mentioned earlier, well, you can't really see it on the 1 minute, but here on the 15, come and hold this level, break through it, and come and reconfirm. We're getting that slight price action on that lower time frame, which is nice. But yeah, let's see if we can get that continuation. See, now we need to hold this level here. We're gonna add a little bit of margin in just a second, so we need it to hold this point. That'll be a nice kind of level to hold. Thank you for the follows as well, and thank you for the likes. Let's see. Just broke through the trend line, so I'll hold down. We cashed in some profit, so can't complain, can we? Money's money at the end of the day. See how we're kind of holding now. That's your trend line.
Utah has become the first state to sign into law legislation that attempts to limit teenagers' access to social media apps. In the men's NCAA tournament, Gonzaga,
Yeah. Okay. See.
Today, the women's NCAA tournament resumes with their Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Nets lost, NHL, Rangers, Bruins, Local news, 24 hours a day, powered by more than 27 analysts in over 120 countries.
That's your first level that's holding at the moment, which is nice to see. This is just going to do its thing. Let it do its thing.
Terraform Labs co-founder Do Kwon was arrested yesterday in Montenegro as U.S. prosecutors charged him with orchestrating a massive cryptocurrency fraud. It is said to have wiped out at least $40 billion in market value.
Twitter, Nathan, is going to start removing so-called legacy verified marks from user accounts next week. The platform is working toward a model where only paid subscribers and members of approved organizations have that status. Twitter has made the blue verification mark a major feature of its Twitter Blue subscription offering. Owner Elon Musk has priced it at $8 a month.
So long to the blue checkies. All right, Karen. Well, the payments company Block is exploring legal action against Hindenburg Research. That's after the short seller claimed Block ignored widespread fraud. A company called Hindenburg's report factually inaccurate and misleading. Block fell 15% yesterday. So did Jack Dorsey.
Okay, yeah, so we're playing it all the way. See if we can continue breaking through. There's a few other levels I will be looking at. Okay, so we need to get through kind of this range. Okay, if we're able to get through here, things will start to ramp up. Okay, let me get rid and I can make it a little bit clearer for you. So break. Ideally come and test it. Okay, come back up. There's a level just here. Okay, right there. Either break, come retest it, or find a little bit of resistance, come and retest kind of this level here. Make that break, then you've got that top. And if we really ramp up, we'll make that break, and then ultimately coming up to this level here. But you've got 1, 2 kind of levels after this kind of range. Okay, so you got a range of volume just there that needs to be broken through. At the moment, we're finding a bit of resistance. It's fine. Just continue holding. If it comes down to either one of these levels, just add a little bit more margin. That's all good. For that actual move back up, things are looking relatively nice for that move. But yeah, those are your levels. Ultimately, that's your final TP, really. There's a few TPs along the way to keep your eyes on. If things really start to stall, then just get out, cash in your profits. It's Friday, guys. Do bear that in mind. It's the final trading day of the week. So, yeah, don't expect huge moves and huge amounts of momentum in the market. Okay, it's not. There isn't going to be lots of movement. Now we've got kind of majority, well, the data to come in this morning. Okay, the next data now is 12:30 UK time, and that is the US data. But yeah, the European data for this morning has all come out now. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So there's going to be a little bit of somewhat of a pause, I presume, because of that. Jesus Christ, have we flown? Okay, so that dollar's absolutely taken off. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get out of these crypto trades. They don't look good anymore. After that, that's too much. Let me just have a little look. Bloody hell, that's a breakout. Okay, I mean, we've got a little bit more room just here. Okay, we'll see. But, yeah, that's not ideal. That really isn't ideal. Alright, yeah, we'll be patient. Yeah, be patient. Realistically, I mean, on a move like that, that should have broken through that trend line. So, yeah, I mean, we're still building some structure. Okay, we'll let them run. Yeah, finishing up on gold. Just let it do its thing. Let it build up some structure. Yeah, be patient. We'll update you all on the next live trading session, and as mentioned, we will send out a full market update, but again, it won't be on TradingView, but we will get it sent out today at some point. But yeah, thank you guys, everyone that joined us today. Thank you very much for joining me. If I don't see you later on, or during the weekend, hopefully I'll see you in the new week. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your Friday, enjoy your weekend. It's been a well-deserved one, that's for sure. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon. Thank you guys, thank you very much, and yeah, take care.